Hi everyone, Amazing here. Welcome to my free and highly dynamic interactive Excel dashboard here on this YouTube channel. So on this YouTube channel, we always create dashboards from the scratch. Okay, right now we're going to be looking at 2012 population and voter registration data from the U.S Census Bureau. So right now what we're trying to actually analyze right here, if we go to the data set, we have this two our dimension, and we have these four measures which we're going to be actually including more to actually see our voter turnout, turnover, and voter population whatsoever. So right now we go to the dashboard. Let me just take you through the dashboard before we actually start creating this from the scratch. The dashboard itself is highly protected. We cannot move anything. We can only filter and actually switch to another look of the dashboard, and right here as well is protected. So let me take you through right here. The green identifies where we have high voter turnout, while the red that gradually comes in down to the deep red actually identifies low turnover area. And when we go to voter population as well, the same thing actually played out right here. What about what we have right here? We have apathy. Apathy are actually the places where we have people not to actually come out and vote, despite that they actually registered. We have it to be very low right here from Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Kansas right here. Oh wow, this is exactly what it is. So right now we're gonna actually start creating this from the scratch, and if you want to see all measure that we have, we see the analysis based on that right here. And now what we have right here is actually showing us the high and low, and based on this is showing us the state with lowest voter population and state with lowest voter turnover, while here shows us the states with lowest registered voters and respectively. So as we start creating this from the scratch, you would definitely understand what is going on right here. Here is the analysis area. We did not have this protected because we want to actually make use of our slicers. If we protect here, our slicers will not work. So for that, we don't have to protect this particular aspect. But we should actually always keep this particular part very clean. Should someone else inherited our analysis or our dashboard, the person would definitely know what is going on right here. So everything we have right here is actually documented, and we actually put some kind of commentary to show what it is and what it does and which chart belongs to which, all of that. So right now, are you ready to start creating? Before we start creating, should you have this dashboard downloaded and you want to actually unprotect it in order to actually move anything or to make any changes to it, just come right and actually type data with decision. That is the channel's name, and just go back right to the review. Go to review, and from review unprotect sheet, you can actually go right here and paste the code right in here, but you're not going to have access to copy it the way I actually did right now. All you need to do is to type it out. So data with decision, capitalize each word and actually bring them together and actually have it unprotected. Now, as you can see, we can now select our chart individually and move anything we want to actually move away from here. But I would advise you to always keep this protected. So are you ready now? Let's go to the right workbook. Okay, here is our workbook that we're going to be using. So this is the dashboard area, and here is the analysis area. We don't have any analysis right now, but as we keep going, we start creating our analysis right here. And here is the font and the colors we're going to actually be using, and this is the color of the whole dashboard, and we try to create some part of the dashboard to have this color, and the charts carries this color. So right now agency FB is our font, and Calvary body is our second font again. So right now we have to go to this particular aspect right here, and what we're going to do right now, go to view and actually make sure you deselect this particular, or you uncheck the headings and uncheck the grid line. We have something like this as clean as what you're seeing right now. So for now, I'm just going to Control A to highlight everything right here, and for the font we're going to actually go right here. The font is actually this particular font. This is what the font we're going to get for the whole dashboard is 43, 36, or 64. So we should remember that. So we go and go to the top level right here and hit on and go right to the top, and we can go here and go to what custom. So here is 43, I think it's 43. So we're gonna be 36 right here, 36, and here is gonna be 64. That is how we can actually use this code, and I'm gonna say okay, right now we have our first color, And that is exactly what it is that we have to do. The second thing we're going to do right now is just to come to this particular insert right here, and we're going to pick this shape right and just drag it and give it the dimension or the height we really want to use for it. So right now, to change the size to actually fit into what we want, so we go to the top level right here and go to what? Go to format, and right here what we're going to actually be doing now is going to be 7.08 for the word, for the height. And for the weight right here, what we're going to be doing now is going to be 12.82. So remember the 0.82. So once I hit enter, this is what I have. So I'm just going to actually make sure I set it rightly right here and actually make it some kind of curve. Here we go, nicely. So just right click on it on your mouse and actually go to format shape, and from there you're going to actually say okay, now no fill. And for the border right here, we want to actually make sure we crank up the border. So we want to make the border thicker. So I'm just going to make it thicker like this. The border is going to be thicker. So here I'm going to actually go right here. I'm going to change this to this particular color right here. So I'm going to put 10. Here it's going to be 8. I'm going to put 26 right here. 26. This is the color I really wanted for it. So now we have this color. So we need to fill the inner part of this particular part right here. That is exactly what we need to do right now. So follow all my steps to do this very nicely. So just Control A right now. So I'm going to, Control 1. And from Control 1, I'm going to go right to this particular size and property. Go to properties right here and say do not move or size with cell. So I know why I'm doing this. So go back again and actually go to view, and from view bring the headings right on top on it. And I'm just going to actually make sure I actually resize and make this to go right in here. Set it rightly on this particular part, and the same thing I'm going to do this to this. I'm going to make sure I resize it because I'm going to give the inner part right here a color. So this is exactly what we need to do. So right now we need to actually bring the color that is going to actually be the inner part right here. I'll go right here and actually copy the color from here. Just go and actually use a format painter to actually get the color right to that particular part of it. So here we have the color that is going to be in there. So now I bring this color in here. Yes, this is exactly what we really wanted. So here we go. We have this color, but right now the color is not really sitting right well on it. So we can actually adjust this to actually sit right on it. So now can you see what it is? Now we have the color. This is how we have this particular curve right here. Now we are almost there. If we go to the main dashboard now, you're gonna see that we have something very nice created. So the next, I'm just gonna go right to the top level right again. I'm gonna go on shape. I'm gonna pick this right. I'm gonna actually make sure I have it in here. And for sure, I'm gonna actually have it curved. So we have it to be here because this is where we're gonna actually create some other amazing, cool stuff. So now we have to change this to under color. I'm gonna change it to this particular color right here. So here we go. It rhymes with it. So I'm gonna actually remove this, and this is exactly what we're really need to do. And for sure, I just don't want to actually create this over and over again. All I need to do is just to get this right here. It's just some bunch of shapes. We're going to get the shapes away from here and bring it down to a dashboard. So how about that? So now we can actually have it pasted in here, and here we have it. So all we just need to do right now is to make sure it sits rightly at the right part of the dashboard. So right now, here we go. We can actually make sure it sits right here perfectly. This is exactly what we really want. So it's very simple to be created. So what we just use right here for the cards is the color of the background we have right here, not the inner background. So just go right at the top level right here and go to insert. From insert, this is the kind of card we used, and we have it right here. And all we just need to do is just to change the color to the color we've actually used previously, which is this particular color right here. And that is all. We remove this and it looks exactly just like this, nothing different. So it's just the arrangements. So this is exactly what we need to do for the first time. Now we are ready to start our analysis. So we are right on our data set. So I'm just going to click anywhere from the table. So it's on the format table, like on normal Excel table. So we're just going to click on insert right here and insert a new pivot table to just get our data summarized. I'm going to click on existing worksheet. So right now I'm just going to go to analyze. I'm going to have it pasted right in here. I'm going to hit OK. Now this is what we have for the first time. I can actually bring my total population right here, register the citizen population. registered voters, and confirmed voters. So now this is what I have. Now we still have some kind of one measures that we don't have right here. We need to create that. That is the voter apathy. So how do we create that? So we just need to create the voter apathy from what? From what we have existing right here. Just click inside the pivot table you just created, go to the top level and then hit on analyze, and from there go to field items and sets. So click on that and add a new calculated column. Here we go. I'm just going to name this to be apathy. So apathy. And we're just going to go right here right now. To get the apathy right now, we're going to say confirm voters. So we're going to subtract it from what? From registered voters. Sorry, we made a mistake. It should be registered voters. Okay, subtract it from confirmed voters. So the people that how many persons actually voted that were confirmed to be to had voted. So we just need to add this and click on OK. Right now, this is where our apathy falls to. So right now, what I'm gonna do right now is this. I'm just gonna have this closed temporarily. So right now, I'm just gonna actually make sure I actually highlight the whole part of it and go to Control H, and I want to get it sum of away. I'm just gonna type sum of right here, and I will definitely replace it with nothing. So we have this, right? So this is what we've gotten. So what I'm gonna do right now, just gonna have it highlighted again and double click on it will make me to fit it to screen. So now it fits so well. So we have to change this to what? To format this. I want to format this into number and no extra decimal. I'm gonna have my separator right on it. So right now I'm just gonna actually have to copy this away from here and actually apply it to other part of it. So nicely we have this. So this is what it is. So we have this and we have to get this to our main dashboard, which I had actually pre-formatted. To get this right here, all you just need to do, we want to actually make sure everything aligns perfectly. Just make sure you highlight this, and once your cursor turns into plus, just drag down a little bit and make sure you actually make sure it aligns well and release this, and here we go, we have it released. We have it duplicated. Let's see what's going to happen next. So I'm just going to go to view and put on my formula bar. Right now I can actually apply formula to this particular one right here. So I'm just going to go right here and go to what? Total population, and pick it up right in here. This is what I'm going to do to get every single thing right here. So as you can see, we have everything right here. We have all the figures right in here. So what we need to do right now is to format it to what we really want. So we just want to go back and actually hit on this. And we want to actually use what we call agency of the, when I hit OK, here I have it. I just want to actually have it turn this particular color, and we want to actually make sure you put it on bold and crank it up a little bit. So we have something like this nicely. So double click on this and actually use it as much as you want to have it released after you might have used it. So right here we have it like this. So we can actually go to what? To 100% view to see what we just created. So let's see that. Can we see that now? This is beautiful, right? So right now we need to actually start concerning ourselves much about the analysis we have right here. So let's go to the main dashboard and see what we have. So right here, I want to actually show what? I want to show a voter population. That is the percentage of voter population by what? By age group. So I can actually go ahead and actually copy this away from here just to make my work easier. I don't want to type this over and over again. Then I hit back to the dashboard that we're creating. I'm going to have it pasted in here. So now we have it right in here, and to get that done, so we just want to go back to our data for the last time. We wouldn't visit this again, but now we just have to do this once more again. So I'm just going to go to insert pivot table, and I'm going to go to existing, and I have back my sheet. So we just have to scroll, and I'm going to have it clicked and paste it right in here. And for the first time, we just have to drop the age groups right here. I have my age groups, but it's not showing me what I really wanted. So what I'm going to do right now is just to click anywhere from here and go to the top level and actually hit on design. And from design, I want to change my report layout. And I want to have it on tabular form. So right now I have the age showing. So do I need the grand total? I guess no, I don't need the grand total. What I'm going to do right now is just to go to grand total. I'm going to have it turned off. So right now the grand total is off. So let's see what we are creating before. What we are creating for right now is percentage of voter population, which we don't really have right now as a measure. So we want to have to create that particular percentage of voter population before we actually have access to drag it down right here, because all those measures existing right here is not actually part of it. So now with that we don't have the measure of percentage of voter population right here, so we need to add it, but we're not going to actually add it right here. So we go back to analysis, and here we click this, and we still do the same thing we had done previously. Go to analyze and add new calculated column. So I'm just going to actually say calculated field right here. So here we go. So I'm just going to name this to be percentage of population. Okay, I'm just going to put population right here. So percentage of voter population. So we just have to put voter right here. Sorry to do this slowly. Voter population. So now we have this done. So what I'm going to do right now is just going to be this. I'm just going to say confirm voter. I'm just going to divide it by what? By citizen population. So this is the citizen population, since the citizen is actually the one that are rightful to vote, not the total population, but all of the citizens are going to vote. So we're just going to actually divide our confirmed voters by citizen population right here. And I'm going to add this and click on OK. Here we go. We have the percentage of voter population right here. So what are we going to do? I'm just going to right click on it and go to number formatting. And right here, I'm just going to change to percentage. With just one decimal point, I'm going to have it clicked and OK. Now, this is how we just got our percentage of voter population. So we just want to get this particular sum off right away. And if I hit OK right now, it's not going to actually allow me to do this. Instead, I'm just going to actually have to put extra space right in there. Then I can now hit OK. There I have it. Can you see how easy it is? So right now, what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to actually right click and just sort it based from largest to lowest. And now I can actually go ahead and create my chart. Go to chart and create this chart and actually take it right there. And this is beautiful, right? So I'm just going to remove this and have this removed. I don't want it. I'm going to actually have to remove this particular one right here. And for the rest of this part of it, I'm just going to actually have it to be just like that. So until I take it to my dashboard before I do any other extra formatting. So Ctrl V will help me paste it in right here. And here we go. Just make it a little bit smaller and make sure it sits right tightly inside here. So situate it down in here. Right now, do a very thorough formatting to make sure it's actually sit well on the dashboard. So I'm just going to double click on it. What I'm going to do right now is just to see how we can make it better. So take this particular field color off, and the bottom I'm going to take it away. For now, I'm just going to click on the grid line, and from the grid line, I'm just going to go to gradient line. Okay, here on it, and we come to these stops here, and I want to take two stops away from it. So now we are left with just these two steps. So I'm just going to go right here and make sure I change the way the direction is. Here we go. So for now, I'm just going to take the transparency, make it 100%. I'll click on this. I'm going to make the transparency to be some kind of 70 to 80 something percent, something like this. So it gives me a lot of flexibility, which I really admire. I love this, seriously. So right now, this is exactly what it is. We are almost right there. So we need a very cool color for a chart. So I'm just going to click on the chart right here and change the color of this particular chart to something else. So I'm just going to go right in here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go down because we don't have the color right now. I'm going to go to more. Here we go. So I'm going to put 79 right here. I'm going to put 209. That's exactly what it is. So now I'm going to actually put right here 150, and I have the kind of color I really wanted. Here we go. So this is the color we have right in here. So this is the color I've just used right now. So once you use it once, you actually start using it over and over again without you have to go and tab it again. So here we go. I'm going to come right here and actually drag this down a little bit. Now it sits right. So I'm just come in right to the tab level. I have to change this to something like this. So we need to actually change this to actually, make sure, yeah, nicely. So we have to actually give this its data label, and the data label is just going to go along with this particular exactly. So we have this, and I'm going to actually make it bold. So now, nicely done. So we have this. So voter turnout is the next thing we're going to do right now. So we need to actually add another extra measure to get his voter turnout right here. So which means we don't have the voter turnout right here. I told you we're not going to be creating new pivot table over and over again. Instead, we recycle through the one we had actually created before. I'm going to paste it right here. And now I'm just going to actually move this away from here. No small voter population. But right now, we need to create a new calculated column. Okay, in order to have the voter turnout right now, what you need to do is for we to actually add a new calculated column, as I had said earlier. So how do we do that? So right now, I'm just going to click in right here and actually go to the same way I actually did before. I'm going to click on this particular part right here and calculated field. We just need to actually add that. Okay, now we have our voter turnover. And what we can actually do to get our voter turnover right now is just for we to actually say our confirmed voter right here is our confirmed voter. So our confirmed voters right here, we're going to divide that confirmed voter by registered voters right here. So we want to see how many of the registered voter converted, sorry, yes, how many of registered voter converted into people that actually voted. That is what we'll actually get right now. If I actually add this and I click on OK, here we have it as usual. So what we're going to do right now is just for we to go to what to number format and actually turn this into a percentage just with one decimal point, and we hit OK. We've just gotten this right, and we just have to actually get a new chart right now. So we get this same chart we actually got it before. I'm going to hit OK right now. Okay, fine. We just have to make sure we minimize this and take it to that particular part of our dashboard. I'm just going to get this away, right? And I don't need this to get it filtered, so I'm just going to have to hide it away from view. I'll have to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to cut it away and take it to my main dashboard to actually format it the way I really want it. So this is of no new whatsoever. We can actually do this behind the scene to just keep the video very, very short. So as you can see, this is exactly what we've done previously. All I need to do right now is just to change the color. I don't have to actually go ahead and actually change this color manually again. All I need to do, I can actually add my color from here straight up. That is exactly what it is. So I can actually go and actually add the data label right here. And here we go, we have it. We just go to the top level right here to change the color to actually fit into the color we have right on it. And I'm going to make it some kind of bold, and it turned out so well. So now this is exactly what it is. So we are almost there. We are almost there. We are actually getting right to that particular part where we have the dashboard to be what it is that we really wanted. So right now, if you can see, we have this little flag right here that actually depict United States. So we want to get that flag right there. We don't have to actually reinvent the wheel again. I'm just going to get the flag, copy it away from here. I'm going to take it to my dashboard to actually get things right smoothly the way it should be. So I'm going to actually have it right in here. And what I'm going to do right now is just for me to click on this and actually make sure I bring it to the top to have it covered the way it should be. So nicely done. So now it fits in just like this. So right now I want to get the value right there. How many states do we really have on dataset? So what we need to do right now is to just go to the data, go to analysis. I'm going to have to copy this away from here. And I told you I am not going to be going to my data over and over again. Instead, I recycle just like what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to actually move this right here. And once I've done that, what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to click on it and, okay, sorry for that. I'm going to click on it and actually right click and show field list. So if I have done this, I want to turn this off and I want to turn this off as well. And I want to bring my states right on it. So I just want to do some kind of count of state. I'm going to use what we call count A for a reason. I'm going to show you why we are doing this in no time. I'm going to actually control shift and actually down arrow will help me to highlight everything. Once I hit enter, it gives me the total numbers of states that is available on our data set. So what I'm going to do right now is just to go to what? Go to insert and bring up this particular shape and bring it right here. So we can now change the color of this particular card we have right here. I'm just going to actually click on format shape, and what I'm going to do right now is just to have the color change. Before then, I'm going to remove the line. I'm going to go right here and choose this particular kind of red right here. Okay, fine, we have that. So I'm just going to put my equal to and go to my analysis. I'm going to pick this number I have right in here. So this number is going to be responding to our filter when we filter using states as we actually go along. Okay, fine. Now I just want to click back on home, go and actually make sure I have it centralized, and it's going to actually be in the middle. So it's not really working. So now I centralize it. So fine. Actually, I'm just gonna actually have to crank it up and make it some kind of bigger. And I have to turn this to white. That is exactly what it is. So I'm just gonna actually make sure I sit it right down here. And what I'm gonna do right now, I just wanna get, I think I don't need to do that again. I just wanna actually get this away from here, copy it down. So from there, I just wanna actually make sure I get it a little bit smaller. I wanna remove this because I wanna actually have to write my states right here. I'm gonna put states. So for that, just have to reduce the states to something. Okay, sorry, we have to come right here. So with text, we just have to use this. That's exactly what it is. So now I don't want to use red on it. I want to change this to white. And right now I want the text to be on black. That is how it can actually write. So now something like this. So this is exactly what it is. So right now it gives us 51 states in the United States that actually contains our data set. So that is beautiful. So right now we have this particular analysis right here. So we'll actually go ahead right now and do something about this. But before we do that, I want to actually go to my developer. And from developer, I click on insert and I want to insert this particular option button right here. I'm just going to insert this option button right here. So this is the first option button. I will duplicate this in no time, but before then, let's see what's going to happen. So what do we have right here? Let's go check it out and see what actually makes. So right now, I want to show the state with lowest voter population, and as well, I want to show the state with the lowest voter turnover. So can we do this? It's very simple. So now, that is what we need to do next. So let's check it out and see what we can do to get it done. So all I need to do right now is just to actually copy this away from here. We have to right click and actually have it copied. Now we're gonna actually drop it right here. So we have to drop this right here. I'm gonna paste it. So after pasting it, what I'm gonna do right now is and actually have this particular age removed. And I'm gonna put my state now. Population is what I want to actually go with first. So percentage of population is gonna be there. So I want to remove the percentage and the sum away. I don't need it. So I'm gonna hit enter right now. So what I'm gonna do right now, right click on it and actually format this into a percentage. And you know what it is. Just click and actually use one decimal point. And here we go. Now what we need to do right now is just actually make sure we rank it because we want this particular one to show the top state for now. So I want to actually click on it and actually go to what? Go to sort. I'm going to start it from the largest to lowest. That is exactly what we need to do. And after doing this, I want to actually copy and get the top six away from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here are the top six. When I actually get the top six, what do we do? I'm going to right click and actually go to what? Go to my filter. From filter, I would say keep only selected item. Now I have my top six selected. Now I want to actually go ahead and actually make it the bottom six. So I'm just going to copy this away from here. I'll paste this right now. I'm going to have it pasted right here. Now what I'm going to do right now, instead of me to show the top six, I'll right click on it. I'm just going to go to sort. And what I'm going to do right now is from the smallest. Right now, this is exactly what it is. So can you see that now? Is the value right here is actually different. Now, specifically, if we come to what? If we come to the state, we have different states right here. This is exactly what it is right now. So what do we do? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. I'm just going to actually make sure I clear the filter away from here. Once I have the filter away cleared, so now we can actually go ahead and actually sort it, which is already sorted. So we sorted. So now we are getting the right value we really want to get. And now we can actually right click on it and go to what? Go to filter. And from filter, we select this. So perfectly, we have the right analysis right made. So for we to get what is here, for we to have right, for we to know what we have right here, I'm just gonna actually type right here. I'm gonna say showing, okay, top and bottom. Voters population. So here we go. So I want to actually make sure I centralize it and actually go click on Control 1. Here we go. We have to go to what? Align. So go to alignment and actually show center across selection. And you click OK. Here we go. It's actually going to give us this. So I'm going to actually go ahead and actually copy everything away from here right now. I'm going to say copy. So now that I have it copied, what I'm going to do with this copy I have copied, I'm just going to come right here and actually have this pasted in here. I'm going to paste this away to this particular part right here. So now that I have pasted this right here, what I'm going to do right now is just for me to change this from voter population to what? To voter turnover. And I'm going to come in right here and change this to what? To voter turnover instead of voter population. I'm going to turn it into voter turnover. This is what I have. And for that, I want to make sure I have the right selection. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to make sure this one is actually giving me the small less number. Actually, I'm going to go right here and actually format it into what it is that I really wanted. So here we go. So now we can actually select and make sure we get what we want to get away from here. Go to filter and select this. And here we go. We have this, right? I think this is actually should be giving us the right analysis we really wanted. So I'm just going to go right here and actually say format. And from format, I want to go my percentage and I take the extra decimal or just one decimal I really wanted. Now this is giving me the right thing. So we have just gotten this right here. We want to be switching between this and the between high and low. So what do we do? Go back right to this particular part right here, and I want to type my high here. So I'm going to type high. So I'm going to have it selected. I'm going to actually have it copied, and I'm going to type in here. I'm going to type my low. So I'm going to type my low here. So low. It's exactly what it is. So I have my high and I have my low right there. So next I'm going to do right now, because this is not actually showing rightly the way it should be showing. So what do? We actually make sure we actually get this to show right. So how do we go about this? So what I'm going to do right now is just for me to actually make sure I actually click and go to the insert. And from inside, I want to pick this particular type of CAD right here. And I'm going to actually make sure I drag it down a little bit right here. And it's going to cover this and give me what I really wanted. So for that, I'm going to right click on it. So I'm going to go to format shape. And format shape, I want to actually choose this particular one to be white. And I'm going to go down. I want still white for the outline. Now, this is what I've gotten. So nicely done. So I'm going to actually have to get this and actually bring this right here. And what I'm going to do right now is just for me to actually click on both of them and actually make sure I go right here and make sure I actually give it some kind of center. Oh, sorry for that. I have to actually say middle, not center. So we have to use the one called middle. I'm gonna say middle. So rightly. So now what I'm gonna do right now is just for me to actually say, okay, what you have to do for me right now is just for you to go back. I'm just gonna send it backwards. So send it back, and now it's actually showing what we really wanted. So I have to actually bring it down a little bit and bring it nicely. So now we can now see when we select 8 of them, so we can see it from afar. We can see what we have right here when I actually minimize this. So can you see this? It's what I'm talking about beautifully. So now I can actually right click on this. This is what it is. Right click on this and actually go to what? Go to format control right here. And once I click on format control, we just have to go back to analysis. And the first one is this. So I want to put this right at the top level right here. This is where I want to link it to. I'm going to say OK to it. So now I have OK. What I'm just going to do right now is very simple. I'm just going to say equal to if, using if condition to get this is just going to be very handy. If this right here is equal to 1, and quickly we just have to make sure we have this locked down. And what I'm going to do right now is just for me to use my dollar sign around this to have some kind of absolutely locked down, which means it's not going to actually move if we copy this down. If it is equals to 1, what do I want? I want you to actually give me this state right here. And if it is not 1 and it is 2, we have to get this right from here. And what am I going to do? I'm just going to have it closed and hit OK, because it is equals to 1, it's giving me state, but you can't actually differentiate which is which until I actually have it dragged down right here. I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to get this extra one here. And I'm going to actually have to make sure I highlight it. I drag it this way, and it's giving me what is that I really wanted. So right now, I just have to convert this into a percentage. Now, what I'm going to do right now is just to locate where I have my format cell. And we go to percentage with just extra one decimal. And I'm going to hit OK. Now here we have it. So now what is it showing us? It's showing us 1 because we actually having the highest one shown. So what I'm going to do right now, we have to actually make sure we have a caption. Should I call that caption? Caption right here, state with lowest voter population. That is exactly what I want to get right now. State with lowest voter population. So how do we do that? I'm just going to use the same if as well. I'm going to say if this is equal to 1, if this is equal to 1, so what you need to give me is going to be state with the highest population. Highest population. So else, if it is not, so what I need to get now, if it is not, it's going to be state with the what? With the lowest. State with the lowest population. So I'm going to have it closed. I'm going to hit enter. Now, can you see what I've gotten right now? So we have to create our chart with what we have right here. That is exactly what we need to do. So I'm just going to click on what? I'm going to click on my insert. And from insert, I have to go to recommended. So it's going to recommend me a very nice chart. This is what I have gotten. I can actually click on this and say okay to it. And here is it beautifully. So right now I don't need this axis right here. I want to actually take it off. I don't need this right here as well because already I have my dynamic caption that's going to actually tell us what it is that we have actually got selected. So now we have to hit this and now I have to drop it on the cells. So Control V, we have it dropped right here for me. And right here, we just have to make sure we have our chart right here and actually format it to what we really wanted. So I just have to make sure I do the formatting, then you see what I'm doing nicely done, right? So what we need to do for the first time is just to double click on it and actually come right here and bring this right here. So let me make it actually close to the screen that you can see it, be it on small screen whatsoever. So I'm going to say no border, I'm going to say no fill to it, and now that's exactly what I have done. So right here, we just need to format this because we want to actually see it very well. So we have to come right here and select this. We have to go with this. So right now, for the grid line, I want to take care of the grid line like this. I have to go and I'm going to use, for the grid line, I'm going to use gradient fill right here. And I'm going to go down. I remove 2 stops away from here. Remove this and I'm going to remove these stops. And I'm going to come right here and select this particular direction. So what I'm going to do right now for the first one selected, I'm going to put it on 100%, while this one is going to be on 80 something percent, which is 83% right here. I just want to give this particular effect right on it. So for now, we have to change this particular chart to this particular color. So we don't really need to actually use the previous color. So we can actually say we are cool with this color. I think I love it. So that is it. So now we have to go right and put the tally bell on. So this is what it is. The tally bell is on and we have to make sure it's the color rhymes with the color of the chart itself. So here we go. We have this and we can actually make it bold. So right there we have this right here. Okay, the next we're gonna do we're gonna have right now is the labels we have right on it. I'm going to actually have to copy this right to this particular aspect right here. I'm going to select here and go to my analysis. And from there, I'm going to pick this right here. I'm going to say, okay, now I have to expand it to make sure everything shows right here. Now, can you see this? So we just have to change the what? I have to change this and here we go. We have something nicely like this. Okay, what if we actually place a filter right now? What is going to happen? Let's check it out. And now you can see it's changing as it changes from high. When we have high, it's giving us state with the highest population or the highest voter population whatsoever. Okay, now we can actually go ahead and actually make sure we change this to what? To voter. So we're going to change this to voter population, highest voter population. And if I click this now, we want to put the lowest voter population right here. I'm going to put voter population right here as well. So now go back to the dashboard and see, make sure state with the highest voter population. And if I go right here, state with the lowest voter population, it's showing me this. So we've just gotten this done. And the same thing we've done right here is what we're going to be doing right here, which means we don't have to actually get to see how we did this. We can actually create this behind the scene and actually, include this on our dashboard, and we are good to go. Are we ready to do that right now? Okay, I have just created the analysis around this right here. So we don't need to create the chart from the scratch again. So all we just need to do is just to make sure we get this to be a percentage right here. Just format this to the right percentage. And once we've done that, I'm just going to show you a shortcut to just get it done without you have to go through the whole trouble of creating this from the scratch. So all you have to do is just to make sure you are having this clicked. And what you need to do right now is just to actually make sure you have it duplicated. So you can actually bring this forward right here. So once you have actually done that, make sure it sits right at this particular level. So we have to bring it down. We want to make it align rightly. So now we have something like this. So I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go select data, and this is what it is. So right now, instead of we to actually select this particular part of the data, which is the previous one, so we can actually select this right here. I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to click OK. Here we go. We have this rightly. This is what it is. So this is what we've just gotten right now. So we need to actually do something to actually make sure it is actually what we really wanted. So we have to actually do the formatting right here. What are we going to do on the formatting? Right click on it and actually go, okay, do we have to do that? Yes, right click on it and go right and select what the kind of what color you really want for it. I'm just going to select this color, and here we go. We have this color fits in, and we have this particular data label right here, and we're going to actually make sure we select this, and we go ahead and select the color that is actually peculiar to that, and it's going to fit into our chart, so we're going to make it bold. This is exactly what we've got. And can you see this right now? It's different than what we have right here, and this is beautiful. This is what we really wanted. So nicely we have just created this particular part of this dashboard, and it's looking very swift right on it. So let us give it some kind of 100%, and let's see what we've gotten on the right view. Okay, so now the 100% is like this. I'm just going to put it on the full screen to see how we have made a very huge progress. So right now we are actually on the very nice looking dashboard we have right in the other part of it. So right now it's giving us this, but right now this is not switching this. What is the problem? So we just have to check what the problem is right here. So we have to check what the problem is. So if we go right here right now, we want to see why this is not actually changing. Okay, okay. So we have to make sure we do this particular changing of a thing. So right now we have a little error right here. Let us see how we can correct that error. Okay, as you can see, it's just a minor error. So I actually make a reference to a very wrong part of this particular dashboard, sorry, of this particular analysis part right here. So we're trying to make a reference to S1. If we actually click on S2, as you can see, you see the reference right here. So all we need to do right now is just to change this 2 right here to 1. Then it will definitely look up at this particular part right here. And if I click on OK right now and actually drag it down, it gives me the correct value. And if I do the same thing to this as well, I'm going to say 1 instead of 2. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm just going to actually make sure I go like this. And it gives me what I really wanted. And here is giving me the correct one. It's giving me us 1 right here, which is very correct. So what I need to do right now is just to make sure I have this particular aspect some kind of back to percentage right here. So when running analysis, error is bound to happen, and once it happens, all you have to do is to find a solution. And the best thing you could actually do to make sure you actually counter that error and make your analysis to work with flow. So right now, I think it's going to be working so well right now. If I actually go ahead and say on low right now, it's going to give me where I have low values, and here we go. It's giving me the nice value I really wanted to see. This is beautiful, right? This is what it is that we're actually looking for. Now, what I'm going to do right now is just for me to actually make sure I have this copied and have it right here. And I'm going to go right to this particular view. My formula bar, turn it down. And I have to go and pick what is peculiar to this particular aspect right here, which is this particular turnover aspect here. And once I'm done with that, I'm just going to make sure I have the same formatting right on it. I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to have it right here. Beautiful. Now, if we actually change this right now, it's going to work along and it's going to change the value for us right here, which is beautiful. Can you get this right now? This is what it is. So this is the turnover. This is what the population. We are right on board. Are you ready to actually go to the next level? So if you're ready, keep your boat running with me, because we are actually going to create a very nice clean analysis right on this particular video right now. Okay, what is the next option? Okay, the next thing we need to actually get right here is the chart that actually shows us the 3 top states with the highest apathy, which is the three top states where we have registered voters that did not vote. So what are those states? Because we want to concentrate very much more on those states. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to go back again. I'm going to copy this away from here and actually go ahead and actually analyze that. So we don't need to create any calculated measure this time around. Okay, we just have to do something very simple and easy. I'm just going to have to paste this right here. I'm going to paste it. And once I've pasted it, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to remove this. I have state right there. I'm going to put on my my what? Okay, I'm going to put on my what? My age group right there. So let's see this the other way around. So we go with this. So I think we're gonna go with what? With the state at the top level right here. So we go with the state, and the age group is gonna be right there. What we need now is actually the aperture. We wanna bring it down right here. So we see the aperture right here. So what are we gonna do next? So we wanna actually make sure we sort it. We wanna see the state that is actually having the highest people that did not vote, despite that they have actually registered to vote. So from the largest to lowest. So we have Alaska, all of that. So this is what we have. Just gonna click on search from here. Just search from here. This is where we're going to have the what we are looking for. So I'm just gonna search descending. I'm gonna sort it by what? By some of the property. So now we are having exactly what we are looking for, because the previous sorting we sorted is actually by age. So we want to sort it by this particular state right here. That is exactly what you need to do. So right now, to create the kind of chart we want to actually create, what are we going to do? The first thing we're going to do right now is just to come right here and actually remove the sum of right here. I want to keep property, and I just want to click on OK, which is not going to allow me. I'm just going to make sure I actually put one space and I click OK. Now we get it. So I'm just going to actually have to put my state, and I'm going to have to drag it down this way. So we are actually creating how we can actually get our chart created. So right here, I'm just going to put an equal to, I want to get the value for what? For Texas. That is the full value for Texas right there. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just for me to get a value from what? From this particular state right here. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to drag it down to this end. I'm going to drag it down. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to have to drag this down to this end right here. So beautiful. We have something like that. So what next do we have to do? We have to actually make sure we move this back to the top level right here. So to actually align. So we want 3 states and we are almost there. And the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to come right here and say, okay, for this particular state, we have to get this down to this actual place right here. Now the total of the state is actually this right here. And the next we're going to get right now is just for we to get the value that we actually from Oklahoma. So we're going to get the value. I'm just going to actually make sure I go down and actually scroll all the way down to have it covered this particular aspect right here. So once we have just done that, I'm going to move this down to the top level, right? Okay. What next can we do again? So we just have to get a value that's peculiar to this particular part right here. So we want to get a total down there, because we're going to be needing the total when we have our chart created. So we are done with this, but these zeros, what are we going to do with it? Nothing. Instead, we have to actually transform this particular part right here of pivot table and make sure we get what we really want. So go to report layout and click on repeat all labels. So here we have it nicely, and it's looking at every part of it. So go to the last one right here. It's actually pointing to this particular 65 plus, and beautiful, we have the right analysis right here. So now this is what we really wanted to create. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to highlight everything, but before I do that, I want to make sure I have this selected and go to Control 1. And once Control 1 is actually up, so go to what? Go to number, and I'm just going to put it from no decimal. I have this particular separator right there. So now I can actually make sure I select it. And once I have selected that, and this is the chart we're going to be using for it, go to insert, and from insert, go to what? Go to this particular insert hierarchy chart. And this hierarchy chart is going to go with this, and this is the flow. Wow, nicely. So what are we going to do? I'm just going to have to remove this away from here right now. And now we have to visit our dashboard to actually see how this can actually fit into our dashboard nicely. So Control V will help us to have this pasted right here. And here we go. I'm just have to go and make sure we have it right here. And, this is what it is. So now I want to make sure we have it focused on. So we want to actually make sure we do the formatting rightly, then we get it done once and for all. So I'm going to double click on it. So once I have done that, so we know what it is. We have to remove all the fill color and anything that has to do with what? That has to do with border. We just want to actually get it away from here. So this is what it is. So I'm just going to make sure I expand it. So we want to create space right here for something else. So once I've done that, what I'm going to do right now is this. So we can't see anything from here. I just have to go make sure we drag it down. I'm going to drag it to the top level right here. So we're going to make sure we give it a very nice formatting. So we've gotten this. So when we actually hover over it, we can see a tooltip that shows us the value of what we're really looking for right here. So all that. All right. Next thing we're going to do right now is just to make sure we change the color to be peculiar to our dashboard colors. So I want to actually rhyme with the colors we have right here. So right now, watch what we're going to do to have the color get formatted. So just click on it and actually click again. Once you have this dim color, you just have to know that, okay, we are right there. So now I'm just going to actually make sure I give that particular part this very kind of color. Now I have this color right on it. And the next thing I'm going to do right now, I want to change this color to something else. So we have to go and I'm going to make sure we use this color right here. So rightly, I'm going to actually click on this color. And what I'm going to do right now, we want to use this particular red color right here for it. So now it actually stands out. So it might not be on the same side of the dashboard, just like what we have right here, but we have something similar, exactly the same thing, but it might be the changes of the color, the way it's actually sit right. So now this is exactly what it is. So we've gotten this right. So I'm just gonna actually have to cut this away from now on. So I think I have some kind of border, which I don't really want. I'm just gonna go say no border. Once I actually cancel this, I actually go. Now we don't see any border right on it again. So what we need to do right now is just for me to go to the main dashboard. I just want to copy something away from here for me to actually make it very simple and easy. Okay, I'm just gonna get this down. Then I have space to actually get this copied right here. I'm gonna copy this away from here. Copy this away from here. So I'm just gonna say copy. Once I have it copied, then I can actually Control Z now to bring it back. So I can go back to my main dashboard that we're creating right now and actually have it pasted in here. So I'm just gonna go right here, Control V will help me to paste it. I'm just gonna actually make sure it actually sits right here for me. Beautiful, can you see that? This is what it is. So now you know what it is. So for me to actually make sure I align what I'm actually doing, I just have to drag this down a little. And here we go, we have it finally. So now we have to just right click, okay, just make sure we copy and clear this away from here. If need be, go and get the value that is peculiar to Texas. So we have it. This is the value that is peculiar to Texas, right? So now we have all the values right here. So we can actually go and actually get the formatting right on. So we have to make sure we give it this color. I will make it on bold, and we actually have to crank it up a little bit and actually make sure we give the formatting to all part of it. So right now we want to have separator. How do we do that? So we can actually go ahead and actually click and click and click on this. I'm going to do my Control 1 as usual, and I'm just going to go to number and take extra decimal off and use the separator. And here we go. Once I click OK and go back to my dashboard, it's updated nicely. This is exactly what it is. So we have actually done from here. So let us see the full focus. All right, here is our dashboard on a full screen. So we are almost there, almost there. So what it is now that we need to create is actually what we have right here and the sliders we have right here. Then we'll be almost done. Then we actually have to consign ourselves with the second part of this very tutorial. So right now, can we go ahead and actually create the next part? So what we need to have right here is this. So we just have to go what? We have to go to the analysis sheet right here. And I'm just going to actually scroll down to this end to have this copied away from here. I'm going to copy this away from here. I'm going to say copy or Control C will help us to do that very speedy. Okay, now we just go back and we have to paste this right in here. So we paste this right in here. So let us check what we're going to be doing to get this done. So what do we need to do? So what we need to do now, state with lowest registered voters is what we need. And we have to what? Registered voter by age group. So we have to get this done. And I want to show fourth state with what? With the lowest registered voters. So we go back to our main dashboard that we're creating. So here we go. I'm going to hit this. And I want to make sure I have this pasted right in here. So we just have to align it perfectly. So that is state with lowest registered voters. Very easy to be created. Just make sure you bring this up. So we have this on. So what we need to do right now is just to click on this. Make sure you're clicking on it. So we have registered voters. Here is the registered voters, and I'm gonna go by states. This is the state. I'm just gonna make sure I have it cleared right now. And for now, I'm just gonna show with the lowest registered voters. I just wanna go create the lowest registered voters right now. Okay, for now, I'm just gonna go with the largest registered voters, and we have done that. And I just wanna show four of them. So I'm just gonna say, okay, now what I need to do as usual, I wanna keep this, and I have this copied away from here. I'm just gonna say Control C. I have this pasted right in here. Once I paste it immediately, I just have to go and actually clear the filter away from here. And now what we need to do next is actually go right here and actually make sure we sort from what? We sort it from what? From lowest to the largest. So smallest to the largest. So we just have to make sure we pick the four part of it. So we have to go right on this and say just keep this. So nicely. So we have to just make sure we double click on it and we need to get this away from here. So okay, I just want to make sure I fit it right here nicely. I'm gonna come in right here as well. I have to get this away from here. So that is beautiful. So we have to do the same thing we had done before. It's very simple. I believe you remember it. Now is S1. So equal to 1. What you need to do, if that is the case, just give me the state, or you just have to give me this. So that is beautiful. We just have this done. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say close. And what we need to do, because when I copy this down, we have to log this particular S1 down right here. When we copy it down right now, we have a very nice smooth copy. So beautiful. So we have to just get this. Oh, sorry for that. Get this away from here. We don't need it. So now we can now create our chart right here. So and the same thing we had done previously. I'm just gonna go right here, and what we need to do is just to get this particular one from here. Double click it and actually copy down to the last part right here. Just Control C will help us to have it copied, and we just have to go back to where we are. And I'm gonna actually have to paste this Control V right here, and I can actually change. I can change the formatting from here. So now it's working right. So state with the highest registered voters. So I'm just gonna get the population away from here. So instead of this voters, I'm gonna put reg. So reg for registered voters. So we have to go make sure we go right here as well and actually change this. It is same thing. Lowest no population. So we have voters right there and lowest registered voters. I'm just gonna go reg short for registered. So we close it and I'm gonna say okay, now we got it. So we have to just create our chart quickly right here and we are good to go. So once we have a chart created right now, that is all we need. So for now, I just have to make sure I give this a very good number formatting that can actually sit right on it. So no extra decimal on it, just remove all that away and get your separator on it. So beautifully, we have it done. So I can actually go ahead and select my chart type. And I know the chart to be used is this particular chart we have right here. And I'm going to get this away from here. Now, I don't need this as well. I want to get it away. I'll make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to actually have it cut away from here down to my dashboard. And beautifully, this is what it is that we need to do to actually have this done. So justification is being done to this right now. I want to make it a little bit smaller because something else is coming right here. I can actually make sure I double click on it and make sure we remove this particular extra, uh, all this right away from here. And we're going to be touching this, and I've shown you previously how we can do that. So I don't need to show you over and over again. I can do it behind the scene and we get our dashboard very clean, nicely. So here we go. I'm gonna make sure I have it on bold. So do I need to have it on bold? No, I don't need to have it on bold. And what I need to do right now is just to change this. And I'm gonna change this to what? To this particular color right here. So we have this color. Or if I wanna go by the same color we had been using previously, I wanna use this color. It matches the top color right here. So I wanna make sure I put on my what? I put on my data label. And once that is done, I just wanna go to the top level right here and actually make sure I give the value a very nice cool color that is going to actually make sure it's outstanding. Beautiful, right? Beautiful, beautiful. I want to make sure it comes down a little bit. That is what it is. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just for we to actually make sure we get our registered voters right here by grouping registered voters. And now when we switch this, it should switch. Now it's working rightly. It's working, but this grid line, I'm going to be taking care of it because I've shown you how to do that right here. So now we have to deal with our registered voter by age group. So we need to go back to analysis right here, and I'm going to copy this away from here right now, and we have to go copy. I'm going to go shift it a little bit and have it pasted in right here. I'm going to paste it, and once I'm done with that, I have to actually get this clear the filter. Okay, I don't need to do that. Just get it away from here, and I'm going to say age group. So registered voters by age group. So we have it now, and we just have to create a kind of chart that's going to actually make sure we have it analyzed nicely where it should be. So I'm going to create this kind of chart. Here we go. So take this away. We don't need it. I'm going to take this away as well. Take this away. I'm taking this away. So right now, I'll make it a little bit smaller. So we cut it away from here, and we take it to a dashboard nicely down. So beautiful, beautiful. So we bring it right here. I double click on it. I have this. I'm going to check it and take it off. I'm going to actually have to move the grid line away. Grid line for this. I'm going to have to cut away from here. And once we've done that, look at what's going to happen. The dashboard is taking very nice shape right now. So we situate this right here very well, nicely. I'm going to make sure it goes up a little bit. And I'm going to make sure I click on it and go back down to the top level right here. And just exactly. So we have to change the color. So give it a nice color. Go use the same color for it. So we don't need the data label because um, we have much more figures that would some kind of go distorting. So we don't need that. So we have to change this to this. Beautiful, right? So we just have to make sure we make it smaller and it sits right on it. So beautiful. We have this. This is what it is. So we have just created a very nice looking dashboard. So this is how we can actually create our dashboard. So it's not going to be peculiar to only voters data analysis whatsoever. You can actually use the same techniques we've used right here on your own personal dashboard, being it sales or whatsoever. You can use it on it and you can actually have a great dashboard. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and actually click on save right here. I'm going to save this right because this has nothing to do with VBA. I'm going to save it just like normal Excel dashboard whatsoever. So voters dashboard right here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to click on this and I'm going to type on the I want to have it saved with. I'm going to say YouTube lesson. That is all. I'm going to click OK. So nicely, we have a very clean dashboard created. So in the next video, we're going to be taking care of the slicers and we're going to go right and actually create this part of the dashboard we've not actually touched right here, which is this part right here I will not touch. So we're going to create it and show you how we can actually show this particular trend to actually make a very, very nice suggestion for the next upcoming vote and actually protect our dashboard and all of that. So thank you very much. If you're listening to this end, all you just have to do is to leave a comment, and thumbs up is always good for me. And once you've done that, if you are a new subscriber, if you are a new person coming to this channel and you've not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. That would actually make me to create more clean and good content for you guys. So I have more to come. Stay tuned to my channel and be blessed.